Well, hi. So I tried to do this on YouTube Live. I tried twice and it wouldn't let me do it. So I'm doing it this way. So this is going to be a energy reading, unenergy reading, grammar for the current energy, which if you're catching this today is for November, the week of November 5th. Or if you're somehow randomly clicking on this much later, there's something in here for you too. So let's see, I pulled out a couple of decks that felt right. And so now, let's see, how do we want to do this? First, I'm just going to check in intuitively and see if anything comes through initially for us for this week. Okay, it feels like there's a lot of opening happening right now. So what they're showing me is like a roller coaster where you're going down, 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 and then all of a sudden you swing up and you start really ascending and you start getting that beautiful view and you start feeling the sun on your face and you start sort of peering over the edge and being like, oh God, what's coming? But it feels really exciting and really fun. Um, and so, for me, I've experienced this as, yesterday I got really sick and I just ended up like, I haven't felt that bad in a long time. And so I just ended up in bed all day and it was frustrating, but also fun because I just got to watch a lot of reality TV. Um, and snuggle with my stuffed therapy otter. But now that I gave myself that rest day, I feel amazing today. I feel really a lot of potential, a lot of possibility, and that's really in the air right now, especially if when we feel that downturn, we love ourselves through it, whatever that means for you. That might not mean staying in bed all day with reality TV, or it might. Because actually what I tried to do was I tried to love myself in a different way. I started eating really well after not eating very well at all. It was like from donuts to green juice. And like tried exercising really heavily and it crashed my system. So on some level that really looks like beautiful self-care, but for me it was just too intense. I just needed the rest and a hamburger. And so after the rest and the hamburger, now I feel amazing. So anyway, that whole story was simply to say that we are in a very up and down energy right now. So when you feel yourself in the downswing, just really ask, okay, how can I best love myself today? How can I best take care of myself today? And know that it might not look the way that self-care normally looks. Or, it's just like listen to your own body, listen to your intuition, listen to just what really feels like a relief. The way I knew to dump my cleanse and go eat a hamburger was because when I felt into it, I kind of felt like crying. Like I was like, oh God, a hamburger. Yes. That sounds like exactly what I need right now. And so I did it and I felt great. It's for some reason that was just what my body was asking for. So listen to that like really deep soul side of relief and follow that. So, okay, so let's get to the card reading, and I'm sorry if you can hear that horrible drilling. There's just constant construction in my neighborhood, and I can't do anything about it, much as I try. I didn't try at all. There's nothing I can do. Okay, where are we starting with these cards? So I have a few decks. I have Wisdom of the Oracle. I love this one. We're going to draw a love relationship card for this. And I have my animal spirit deck, which I love. This is going to be the week's energy. Great. And then I also have my Wisdom of Avalon. So this is going to be in the sort of mystic spiritual sense for this week. Okay, cool. That's what we're doing. So let's start with the general energy for this week from my lovely animal spirit deck. Okay, just going to clear the cards. Ooh, good, they're ready to go. Okay, so for the collective that watches this video at any point, what animal wants to guide us through this week? Here it is. Ooh, oh my God, of course. Of course. Ha ha, you can't make this stuff up. So we got the Scorpion card. And of course I think I'm no astrologer, so, double check this if you like, but I'm almost positive we're going into a new moon in Scorpio this week, which it can be very intense, but also it can just break open beautiful, amazing, like just light-filled possibilities. The image they're giving me right now is actually this really beautiful ring that I have. It's moonstone with these like talons holding it, like claws holding it, and I wear it for protection and to remind myself that, you know, the darkness can create all the light and the light can illuminate the darkness, and that really is a big part of this Scorpio energy. So that said, I will read the actual description for us. Let me just see, is there anything else that I'm getting from this intuitively? Channel the Scorpio. Okay, so there can be a little bit of a sting, but the sting will, it's like the sting, so they're showing me like if if you get you don't want to get stung by a scorpion, but the sort of spiritual energetic message to this is it's more like getting a shot at the doctors that will protect you or that will heal you. So the pinch, the prick, the ouch, the bite is actually for your good. So if there's any place where you're feeling a bit bitten, a bit sore, or you get kind of jabbed this week, know that it's breaking something open for you. It's allowing something new to come forth. It's allowing some sort of healing of something probably that's been with you a long time. It's almost like they're saying it's like the cure for a disease that you thought couldn't be cured. That's what the bite is. So go gently with yourself and know that the bite is all for the good. And if you don't get bitten, perfect. You don't need it. Okay. Where is this? Sometimes I don't understand how to find things in this book. Scorpion, 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 come to... There we go. Okay. So, Scorpion, passionate, competitive, tends toward isolation. The scorpion is a passionate and determined creature. Their career is very important to them, as are a select few friends. Sometimes the scorpion's heat festers and they focus on an unresolved event from the past, usually a situation where they were left feeling burned. The scorpion card says it's time to come clean about your feelings so everyone can heal and you can get back to your usual fiery but fun self. Okay, so that's the general energy for this week. And if there's something in there that resonates with you, it's for you. And, you know, with all of these readings, like take what really feels right to you and what really lands with you and leave the rest. So when in balance, wild and free, fierce. When out of balance, jealous, resentful, unresolved. This is hitting home for me in some ways. To bring into balance, honesty, forgiveness. So this is one of the big elements of this time right now is finding our voice, speaking our truth. And your truth is your truth alone. Your truth does not have to placate anyone else. Your truth does not have to be true for anyone else. We can all have different truths, but your truth is your truth. And the more powerfully and firmly we stand in our own truth, the more our spirit has room to play with us. The more our spirit has, our higher self has room to really bring us what we've been wanting to experience and to create and to, you know, just be in this life. So yeah, where can we be honest with ourselves, especially around what it is that we want to experience, want to create? Okay, so Scorpion, that's fun. Okay, so now we're going to do the love piece, the relationship piece for this week. And then the next thing. That's how this works. And excuse me, I'm just going to wipe my nose because it's, yeah, fall. Okay. All right, so clearing this deck. Okay, so this is for the collective that watches this video. What do we need to know here about love and relationships? Ooh, okay. This came out sideways. So let me just see if that is relevant. Okay. So the fact that this card came out sideways will be relevant for a few of you, but not all of you. So just feel into that. So as the message comes through, if it's not resonating with you, try turning the message on its side. Just intuitively yourself, just feel into that. So this card is time to go. So for love and relationships, time to go. All right, so what am I getting out of this? Okay, so it is time to move forward. It's time to move forward. And that might be, if you're in a relationship, it might mean that, okay, it's time to take the next step. And so if you are the more feminine energy in the relationship, it's not necessarily about you pushing for the next step. It's more about feeling into like, okay, what would I like the next step to be? And really just being in the energy of that, visioning that, not necessarily in, okay, every day I have to visualize this for 20 minutes, unless that feels good to you, more a feel into what you would like the next step to be, and then allow it to be drawn toward you. Allow your partner to come forward with that on their own. And then be, really willing and ready to receive that. And so if you are in sort of a questionable, and these are more love relationships, but they can also be in friendships or, any kind of relationship, whatever relationship resonates with you with these messages. But what was coming forward was, if you're in a love relationship that's kind of on the edge, kind of not going where you would like it to go, maybe it is time to move on. Maybe it's time to, know that you are worth being treated the way you want to be treated. Know that you are so able to be in the relationship that you truly want. And so if the person you're with or sort of with isn't able to give you that, then someone else will. So this is, for you to feel into and see how that resonates with you. And again, remember, it came through sideways. So just feel into the sideways aspect of it if that feels better. Okay, so I'm going to read what the actual little book says. Excuse me, I have to wipe my nose again. I'm so drippy right now. Okay. 45. Here we go. Okay. Essential meanings. Endings, completion, walking away from something because there is nothing else to learn or experience. Okay, so the Oracle's message. You are at the end of one journey and have not yet begun the next. This is the moment to bless your experience thus far. Take stock of what you've learned. It's time to move on to new experiences and a new way of being. There is nothing left for you to do, be, or experience in your present circumstances. Take the risk and move on, even if you need to be in transition for a time. Your destiny is calling you. And this really, in general, resonates with what the energy is like right now. The energy is kind of that of anticipation, of we're kind of like one door has closed, but the next door hasn't quite opened. And so we're in that hallway, we're in that in-between space. And so now is really a time to get excited about what's coming, excited about what is going to be showing up for you, because this is what you've been calling forward, creating in the other dimensions, and it's now beginning to ground. And so even though you can't see it in your life yet, it's coming. And so it's time to be excited about what we get to experience next. Okay. Relationship message. It's over, or at the very least, the form this relationship has taken is no longer of service to you or the other person. This is a time of letting go, of knowing that the journey has come to its conclusion. That doesn't mean anything is lost. Although this card could speak to a breakup, drifting apart, or the end of a soul contract, it is more about release than destruction. Remember the saying, if you love something, let it go. If it comes back, it's yours. If not, it never was. Endings are always a sign of new beginnings. If you want something deeper, walk away. Well, that's pretty clear. And just know that if grief comes up when walking away from something, it's like that scorpion sting. It's going to clear and heal and release old wounds as well as the current wounds. And that allows for so much beauty, so much possibility, so much expansion. And so it can be very exciting, even as it's sad to walk away from that. And what resonates with me very deeply is if you love something, let it go. And if it comes back, it was yours. If not, it never was. And that's good to remember, because I've personally been through so many breakups, and I feel like I've had to let go of so many people, and the right one, the one who's meant for me, who I'm meant for, will come back. And so if they don't, next. What are you gonna do? So just feel into that, and remember, it did come in sideways. So if it feels like that message needs to be flipped to the side, not flipped 180, but flipped to the side, feel into that. And it feels like I'm not meant to channel that. If you're feeling the sideways, just ask about that for yourself and receive whatever's meant for you with that. Okay, so this next card is going to be, this feels like it's about the 5D. So when we're in our experience of the world, when we're in our humanity, we're in the 3D. That's shifting now, and I think a lot of you who are tuning into this are kind of in between the 3D, the 4D, the 5D, the 7D. And if you don't know what that means and you would like me to do more of an explanation about that, just leave a comment or something and I can make another video about that. But this is going to be for our 5D, 7D experience. Because really, if you're watching this, you're someone who is really very present with those other dimensions and is able to kind of jump up levels and, experience things in the 5D, in the 7D, in the 9D, and then kind of help ground it into the 3D, which is what this time is all about. And so this card is going to be about what we're experiencing up in the 5, 7, and 9D, and working to ground and experience into this kind of more real, tangible world. So clearing these cards. Okay, Wisdom of Avalon. What does this collective need to hear, know about what we're experiencing in the 5D? That's not a very clear question. Do I need to clarify the question? Oh, no, they get it. Okay, I'm gonna keep. Oh, that's it. Is that it? Yep, that's it. Okay. Ooh. Oh, I love this. Okay. All right. So you writers, storytellers, artists, creative people, which is probably every single person watching this, this card is for us. So I pulled the Bard. Music, poetry, myth, history, the enchantment of storytelling. Okay, so the message for this feels really clear. It feels like it's time to get back to your creativity. It's time to pull those stories from the ether, okay. So our favorite authors, writers, storytellers, creators, they jump up into that well of divine creativity, and they pull out stories and they ground them into the reality where we can go to the movies and watch those stories. We can pick up a book and read those stories. We can listen to a podcast and hear those stories. Like J.K. Rowling was 100% channeling, other dimensions with Harry Potter. And she's always like my kind of go-to example with this. But really think about your favorite story, your favorite authors, your favorite movies. They were pulling those stories from that well of divine creativity. And you can do that as well. You can do that just as well as anyone else on this planet ever has. And so now is the time to really start, and this is for me too, start tapping back into those other dimensions and pulling down those stories and sharing them in whatever form sounds fun to you. Maybe it's a song, maybe you write song lyrics, maybe it's a screenplay, maybe it's a book, maybe it's a blog post, maybe it's anything. It can be anything. But this is a really, really powerful time to do that, and the time is now. The world needs the divine in story, because that's how we, it's so much easier to engage with a world of magic if we're reading it as fiction, because it bypasses the elements of our trained brain that will say, oh, that's not possible. Because of course it is possible, but we've been conditioned to feel that it's not. So that's really cool. And now I'm going to read the actual thing for this. So maybe there will be a few other messages in there. Okay. The Bard. Music, poetry, myth, history, the enchantment of storytelling. This card represents music, storytelling, and the passing of truths, myths, and legends from generation to generation. oops, through the spoken word or song. In ancient Avalon, the tradition and stories of the people were gathered on leaves that served as letters in a living alphabet that were tended in a living alphabet and were tended in vast long houses. Here the druids and priestesses came to read and weave the stories of magic and the sacred relationship to the god, goddess, and the mystery. Those schooled in the art of music and storytelling were given the task of informing their world and keeping the stories of their culture alive. They were given the name of bard. When the bard appears, you're asked to seek answers in your personal history. Go back into your own story and find the threads of the patterns in your reality and trace their length to the present. Maybe you'll be surprised by how much of your past or that of your ancestors still weaves its influence on you today. When the bard appears, he asks you to retrieve the stories woven in the past. Perhaps you need to learn about the history of someone or something important to your inquiry. The seeds of the future are always hidden in the soil of the past. It's time to dig a little to find the clarity you need. Don't be afraid to learn the patterns of history. The only way to honor them or change them is to know them. Perhaps it's time to listen to music and allow yourself to be carried into the land of memory and listen for its messages as the strings of your soul are strummed by the hand of the divine. Remember that the bard appears to help you stay in tune with the all that is. You are music and your story is sung in the heavens. That's perfect, and it feels like a really lovely way to end this reading for this week. So yeah, as always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. You know, this is a reading for the collective, so there will be pieces in it that are for you. There will be pieces in it that aren't. So, you know, feel into what's right for you. But it just feels really, yeah, like a powerful, fun week to really dive into our destiny. Yay! All right. Thank you, guys. I'm Amber Adrian. If you want to play with me more, please subscribe, or you can find me online at amberadrian.com. And please note the giraffes, giraffe 1, giraffe 2, and there are more giraffes here. All right. Lots of love to you.